Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday afternoon, and we're checking in with Heidi and Laura.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
how you doing?
We miss you.
This is so much fun.
So Heidi's back off of 2 weeks of vacation. What'd
Yeah,
you
it was
do,
the most
Heidi?
riveting vacation ever. Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, I went from the bedroom to the living room.
Wow.
Yeah, and then sometimes I went to the backyard. So, it was
That's
like, well,
amazing.
it was like going to another country.
That's amazing.
Yeah, good times. Really good times. Yeah, how about you guys? You were slaving away for weeks without me.
Yes.
Yes. Big news here is I cut Andy's hair, so that was interesting.
My
That is
God.
funny.
8 weeks, he couldn't wait any longer. He had, I don't know, 4 inches maybe on the top. It was folded
Oh
over
my
multiple
God.
times, and he caved and let me do it, and it's good enough. Good
Did you
enough.
do it with the scissors like this or the buzzer
I
things?
did both. Because he
Oh
normally
my
has a
God.
fade. I couldn't exactly do that, but I did enough to make I don't know, the bottom half was shaved, and then the
Yeah.
top I cut to like a quarter or a half inch, and it's okay.
Wow. You are a
Good for
brave
you.
woman.
See, now you,
Victor kept asking me to cut his hair. He was afraid he was looking like a hippie because, he likes to wear his hair high and tight. And
yeah.
I was terrified. I had to watch 1,000 YouTube videos, how do you do it? And that made me more scared because people were like, and then you switch to this gauge and you do a quarter of an inch, and then you switch to the next gauge and you do an eighth of an inch, and then you switch to another gauge. I couldn't. I was terrified, but he was adamant. He wanted me to do it, and such a brave soul. He was just like, well, the worst that can happen is I shave my head bald, and I'm bald for a couple weeks.
And start from scratch. Well, look, that just goes to show you guys have backups. If you need
Yeah,
your next career,
Sure.
you could go into
next
hairdressing.
career.
I
If
don't
you
know. I
got
think it was
people.
more of an appreciation for barbers and
Yeah.
hairstylists. Holy
Oh
cow.
yeah, yeah,
And the nail people. Look at this. I need my nails done and I need a pedicure. So I
definitely.
appreciate them a lot more.
I need a pedicure. I feel like I have hooves. It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to at some point in the not too distant future to going back into the senior center, although I know it's going to be very restricted and there's going to be different rules and stuff like that. So um, we should, we've been discussing a lot of different options for our seniors that we can do while maybe we're in the senior center and they're not yet able to join us. So what what do you guys think about what we were talking about earlier, like some ideas, like Heidi, for you, the painting class that you do quarterly?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, it might be fun to try to do remote stuff for people who are able to do online or video sharing or whatever. I'm not really sure how that would work out, but I think it would be fun to try it at least, whether or not we could do it in like a Zoom fashion or if it would just be a step-by-step video on YouTube. I don't know. Obviously, it's much more fun when the room is filled with people and we're talking and laughing and I got my music going and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would love to try to provide more programming and be much more interactive with folks and just I want to get back to life again. Man, how do we make it work?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the audience would be. Would have to hear from our members what their interest is, but in my head, I sort of envision us having these to-go kits of activities, whether it be a paint night and you pick up your easel and acrylic paints and Canvas, and then we have a set date and time for you to log in and see an instructor do something, or a craft project, or even trivia, um, bingo, stuff like that. I do think there would have to be some component where you could pick up your activity pack or supplies, maybe in some kind of drive-through fashion or something like that. But I agree. I would really like to expand what we're doing and be able to see people and interact more in the safest way possible.
Yeah, so guys, if you're watching this right now and you're able to make a comment, please do comment or contact us and let us know if this is something that you're interested in doing, or if you've got another idea for something that we could try to do. That would be so much appreciated to hear what it is that you're actually looking for to do.
Well, I mean, what we know is that we will be allowed access into the senior center prior to the seniors. So what I think is going to happen, it's going to be modifying everything that we want to do. We can't really, you know, put information out for like a July newsletter because we don't know yet what the parameters are going to be and the rules and regulations. So we're kind of trying to get ahead of that and figure out, well, you know, if we can't have our seniors in, what can we do, you know, via the computer to make it so that we're still doing programming, although modified, so that people are still active in some way with the senior center. So
Right.
that's a. Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say that I think it's important to note that even though, you know, you hear arbitrary dates thrown out for, you know, the state's going to reopen in 7 days and 12 minutes or what have you, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's in everybody's best interest to just go dashing out and do all of the things. You know, especially our population that we're serving, you know, yes, we want to provide programming, and yes, we would love for things to go back to the way it has been, and I think eventually we will get there, but I think that we need to slow our roll and do things smart so that we're minimizing people's risk, you know, as we're easing back into our programming. So yeah, we're going to have to temper what we're doing and how it's done, but yeah, you made some good points.
Yeah, I think I can even envision us bringing back, you know, a baking or cooking show where we can video it and time lapse to see what the results would be.
We have the magic oven.
That's awesome.
Or we could fill the time while the stuff's in the oven, but I think that that would be a lot of fun.
I'll be Julia Child.
I agree. I think that's a great idea. It's just, you know, we want to feel those connections. We want everyone to feel connected to us. Even if you're not in the building with us, you know, you can connect through the computer. We can do remote programming, and I think that's a great idea, Ann.
Absolutely, I like it.
I also think, just like we're doing here, we could sort of maybe do a test trial with some of our volunteers and have a little forum with them and catch up face to face here,
I
like
think
we're
that would
doing
be
now.
great. We could have like a coffee talk.
Exactly.
Coffee talk.
That's one thing I'm doing way too much of. I'm probably having 6 cups of coffee a day, but what can you do?
I think that's an awesome idea to have everyone in like a Zoom meeting and just chit chat and catch up. And I think that would be great. You know, it's great. We're calling people and we're keeping those connections, but I think it would be even better if we could see each other and have a conversation. I think that I would love that. And I'm sure our seniors would as well.
Absolutely. You know, they have entire television shows around this kind of thing. Like, you know, we could have our version of The View where we have topic du jour and everybody chimes in on it. I used to love to listen to the ladies after they came out of their exercise program in the morning. They'd all go into the cafeteria and I could hear them from my desk, you know, just picking a topic and then everybody discussing their vantage point and what they thought. And it was pretty cool just to hear that that's what was going on. So I think, you know, that, again, this is another way for people to have that interaction and be connected to each other, you know, and still get their 2 cents in and hear other people's points of view.
Yeah, I agree.
Julio.
What else is going on? So unfortunately, I saw the governor's announcement that um, school is going to remain closed for the rest of the year. So how's Olivia and John Paul taking it?
I think she kind of expected that, so it wasn't a real surprise for her. But the great thing about Portland is that it's such a small town, and the school, her graduating class, I think, is only 87 kids. So they're
It's
looking
what you
to,
were in my class.
really?
Yeah.
Mine was like 200 plus in Mercy. We had a big, big class, but they're thinking of ways to um, do things via the computer. Like every year at the end of the year, just before graduation, they have the awards ceremony. So, and it's at that ceremony where they acknowledge the valedictorian and salutatorian. So they're thinking of a way to either do it at the school or do it interactive online. They really want to do the graduation at the school modified, obviously less people. And um, I think she's disappointed, but there's really, it is what it is. My son is so happy. Oh my God. He's on vacation. This school, forget it. This kid has got a mentality of vacation, and that's what we're seeing. No schoolwork being done.
That's amazing. I have Madison home with me. She's a college student, and she is definitely suffering from lack of exposure. Like she was really in her groove in school, and just to have everything come to a screeching halt has been so challenging for her. She likes to be in the mix of things, and to have it just end. And then of course she's in a different time zone than most of the people that she was in school with. So it's a 5 hour difference between us and her classmates. So, if they're trying to do a Zoom meeting or something, she's setting an alarm for the middle of the night. So they are having their morning meeting where they are, and she's up in the middle of the night to have the meeting. So she's trying to stay connected, but it's just not the same. She doesn't have access to all of the materials and things that she would use in school. So she's really feeling very, very frustrated and wondering, what does the next school year look like? Are they going back in the fall or not? What does that look like? So there's a lot of unknowns out there. And also Alex is graduating this year. Victor's son Alex is graduating. So, this has been a huge thing for him too with the sports. He was into a sport every season, and so here we are. It's been Mr. Couch Potato, I'm sure, but that is what it is.
That's the same with John Paul. They canceled, obviously, school. They canceled track, so right. He doesn't get to do track this year, and he was very disappointed about that. But, there's nothing we could do. And we can't say, oh, don't worry, this happened before, we'll get through it. We don't know what's to come. And not in a fearful way, we just don't know how things are going to change. There's definitely going to be change. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. And to know that we're absolutely going to get through it, that's not the question. It's what does it look like after,
Yeah.
Is the grocery store going to be jacked up for the rest of my life? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
And what about you?
Well, I'm no gardener, but we definitely were feeling pretty isolated. So we got out and enjoyed the sunshine this weekend, and we cleaned up our flower beds, planted some new seed, mulched it, and I haven't been able to walk right since. So we did something right. Mm-hmm. It looks nice. Then we had a hailstorm yesterday, so now there's a lot of divots in it, but that's all fixable. Now I'm just watching the plants, waiting for flowers to grow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Seeds, but none of them are sprouted yet. So I go out and I admire the dirt a couple of times a day, and there's nothing there. So You know?
I have off for quite a while. I have next week, Memorial Day, and then the day after. So I think we'll be uncovering the pool and seeing if we can get that going in the hopes that summer is on the way. And that would be something to enjoy, you know?
Yeah, I think summer might come if you open the pool.
Yeah, definitely. It's worth a shot. So,
I mean, just the other day, what was it, Saturday? I was at ShopRite and it was snowing. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with this weather. We didn't get snow in the winter, but we're getting it in the
in
In May.
May.
in spring
Yeah,
and summer. So it's just so strange.
I know. One of my friends had posted on Facebook that she wasn't sure, you know, what was going on. She lives up in Rochester. So, you know, she's outside wearing her mask, wondering if the murder hornets are going to get stuck in her mask while
Oh,
she's
yes. The murder
shoveling
hornet.
snow on Mother's Day weekend. It was funny.
That was terrifying, huh? Talking about murder hornets. Oh,
I
boy.
know. So
But I'll
crazy.
tell you, I really enjoyed the video of the praying mantis annihilating the murder hornet. That was a great video. I really enjoyed that. It made me feel better.
Okay. Like we have allies.
Of the good old praying mantis on deck that will save us.
I have one that lives in my azalea bush that scares me, like startles me. I'm not afraid of bugs, but it comes out of that bush. If I go near the bush, it comes running out with its dukes up, ready to take me down. Is that okay to say?
Sure, absolutely. You could say that. We're all adults.
And you could try to bleep.
Sure, thanks.
No problem. Whatever.
Okay.
Laura, what are you doing?
So I'm just kind of thinking about when it might be that we get called back. I know that because we have, you know, the recreation office as well as the senior division. You, Heidi?
Well, we're going to do some work in our backyard. Well, remember Benny? Laura, Benny's going to come over Saturday.
Oh, I love Benny. I remember him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to come over Saturday and do some repair work to our shed that's in the back. And Victor and I are going to work on the poles that we have out in the backyard around our fire pit with the lighting on it. So we're gonna try to pretty those up a little bit. And we're gonna have some work. I got a lot of projects planned actually. It's, you know, I just have to win the lottery now and then we'll be all set. But yeah, so our back porch has some water damage. Remember that, Laura? Remember the psychic lady said your father says you've got water damage? Yeah, we have water
I
damage.
remember that vividly. She exactly told us the spot in your house where there was a leak.
Yes, and she was absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And what was Angelina Diana? Was that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anybody
Yes.
listening out there, she's for real. Yeah. So we're gonna get that fixed, and then I have so much I want to do to that house. Like I want to redo my front porch and make it, you know, more prettier. Update some stuff, freshen it up a little bit, give the house some curb appeal. You know, I've got all the plans in my head. I just need to win the lottery so we can get this ball rolling. That's where we're at.
I'm watching a hell of a lot of TV. I have been like binge watching The Office. The Real Housewives of New York is on. That's one of my favorite shows. And you know, Three's Company. I tape programs so that when I'm in bed at night and I have the time, I blow through all of them. I watch everything. What about you, Heidi? What are you reading?
Well, I actually did read a book. I read 1984 by George Orwell.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Was that the name? I don't know. 1984 was definitely the name of the book. Yeah, kind of creepy. I can relate, you know? That's the story where if you ever hear about, you know, people say, oh, Big Brother's watching, that's where Big Brother came from, is that story, and the Thought Police. So that was kind of interesting. And then other than that, like we've been watching different shows. We recently got back into watching, and this is an older program, Arrested Development.
That's my
I love that show. It's
favorite.
just the most ridiculous, dysfunctional, nonsensical, funny show. So we're watching that. I think it's either on Prime or on Netflix, whichever channel that is. But so funny. I mean, you think it can't get more ridiculous, and then it does. And who is it? Wait, Jason Bateman is like one of the main characters. I can't think of the names of the others, but so funny, so funny.
Heidi, you will be happy to know that I made my very first carrot cake.
I love carrot cake.
It was delicious. I made the frosting with the cream cheese.
Did you save me a slice?
Absolutely not. We ate the whole thing. In fact, my father was mad because we didn't bring any over to him. I had to make another one.
Oh my word.
We said we are not giving you the whole one. I gave him a big like hunk of it, and then we ate it again. It was delicious.
I decided to make cinnamon rolls. The real kind, the real, not the kind you get out of the can from Stop and Shop, but the real kind. And oh my God, so yummy. So yummy. So the first one I did like a traditional cinnamon roll with the cream cheese. No, I didn't do cream cheese on that. I did apple pie filling on the top instead of.
That sounds great.
Frosting kind. So yeah, so you take it out of the oven before it's all the way done, put the topping on it, put it back into the oven so it gets kind of like caramelized. Oh my word. If you like apple pie and if you like cinnamon rolls, this is the perfect combination. And then I made regular ones, with the cream cheese frosting on the top. And then I made another batch with orange marmalade in the middle. And it was amazing. So yeah, we've been eating a lot of stuff over here.
I love cinnamon rolls. This sounds good.
Yeah, we gotta make those. We gotta make those and share them, because it's not like a baking class thing, because there's all that rising in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so yummy. Oh my word, so yummy. Really good. What are you doing?
The painter is coming. I have 4 people that I have hired at different times to paint. So he's coming now, and he's going to paint downstairs.
What color?
Gray.
Shocker.
I love gray. I love gray, but I love the lighter shades of gray. I don't like the dark gray. It's too dark. But there's so many different shades of gray. So I did like different shades in different rooms. I used to have these really beautiful chocolate colored walls with like a cream trim. And my accessories were like neutral colors, beiges and creams. And then I was like, oh my God, take me to the light. So we took the brown, gone, and now it's a very light gray, as you can see over my shoulder, with a trim of white. It's much more brighter, uplifting. Love it.
Tell us about your faceplate.
What?
Your faceplate.
Oh, yeah. In my first video, there was no faceplate here because what happened was we had just painted, so you take the faceplates off. But then I replaced them. Instead of the white plastic, I put stainless steel on all of the plugs and the switches and everything so that it looks the way I want it to look. Because I have a certain idea in mind, and like if I see something in a picture and I say, oh my God, I really like that, then I want to do that in the house. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing.
I would like to do that too, but we live here, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Downstairs.
Like I'd like a well put together home, but
yeah, I'm trying to be good.
Well, it was good catching up with everybody.
So what is this? Goodbye? Is this goodbye?
This is goodbye.
Goodbye,
Until
everybody.
tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. Mwah, mwah, bye.
I hate long goodbyes. Get out.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.